see dead people.
Bill, a private investigator turned funeral crasher, does speak for the dead. Your job is not exactly normal. What exactly is a coffin confessor?
It's basically someone that goes to funerals on behalf of the deceased, and I interrupt the service and I let some home truths fly.
Now, do you find this job on Seek.com? Like, how did you fall into this line of work?
I was doing an investigation for a gentleman who was terminally ill, and I said, maybe you should do a eulogy. And he said, no, I'd like to do something more than that. I'd like you to interrupt my funeral.
The man gave Bill a letter to read at his final send-off.
He had some issues with his best mate that was trying to, crack onto his wife. And his wife ignored his best mate's advances all the time, but he was really upset that he wasn't strong enough to confront his best mate. But he knew what was going on. And he said, if I can see this from the coffin, I'm just going to love every minute of it. So I really want you to let loose on him.
How did the best mate take it?
He stood up and walked out. He left.
You'd think an act like that could end up with Bill in a grave himself, but instead it kicked off his new career.
They're knocking on death's door and they've got something to say, and they don't want to say it while they're alive. They don't want to go through all the crap and all the angst. They're already dying, but they do have something they want to get off their chest or let the skeletons out of the closet, so to speak. Done a couple of cemeteries, and most recent one was a bikies funeral.
How did the bikies take it?
They took it well, actually, in the end. I disclosed that he was gay. I had to disclose that his lover was in the audience.
People pay Bill up to $10,000 to crash their funeral. Sometimes their confessions reveal crimes they've committed or affairs they've had. Other times it's just a way for them to say goodbye to their loved ones because they didn't have the strength to say it themselves. Do you ever feel like not doing it? Like you've got their money?
Oh, come on, would you take a dead person's money? Can you imagine that? And I'll tell you what,
well, then you're going to get haunted, right?
Well, that's right. And you know what? I did get told from my very first client, he said, Bill, if you don't do it, we're all going to die. I'll see you in the afterlife.
Bill seems like a pretty trustworthy bloke to me. So I decided to take our relationship a step further. Can I give you a few of my confessions? And if I pass away soon, you could turn up at my funeral and read them out?
Yeah, of course.
I never saw the ending to Donnie Darko, but I always tell people I did. Between the ages of 13 to 17, I stole $5 from my mum's wallet every day. I've never actually watched an episode of The Project, but being that intrusive, random man at a funeral isn't the only beyond the grave service that Bill offers.
Home sweeps. I do a lot of home sweeps. That's where people may have fall and they're unable to go back home. So they're either stuck at hospital.
Can't remove the evidence.
Yeah, so I go into their home and I remove things that they don't want their loved ones to find.
Now, does this all sound a little bit weird to you? Well, according to Bill, it's pretty straightforward. The coffin confessor reckons he can't get sued for defamation because he gets all his clients to sign a contract. Plus, he films them all on camera agreeing to let him speak at their funeral before they die. Easy. Do you worry that now you're getting more well-known and you're doing more and more funerals that people are going to recognise you and be like, under no circumstance is the coffin confessor coming into this funeral?
Oh, you'd be hard-pressed to stop me. I mean, my client's in the box. If they refuse me entry, I'll get in. I'll take my client with me when I go.
You'll take the client in the coffin?
It's my client.
I tell you what, you'd want to make sure that he had the right funeral. Can you imagine? There are a lot of nervous people around Australia right now.
I know, but he has not had one complaint from one of his clients. Not one, not one. I can't believe Sam Taunton hasn't seen an episode of The Project. Taunts, what's going on?
That is a crackerjack business model. I love it.
He may not live that long.
True. The thing is, most people, when they think of their funeral, they'd like to think that a lot of people get up and say really nice things about them. This would be exactly the opposite. This is how to blow up a wake forever.
I kind of had a roller coaster kind of emotions during that, Lisa, because I'm watching it kind of going, it's funny. I can get how it can be funny, but I can also see how it could go really badly. Really, like the best friend who walked out. I mean, that's pretty full on.
Particularly if you throw in a bunch of bikies as well, Pete.
Yeah, wow.